it's very interesting that the Ibn Ezra asks this about the Ten Commandments. He asks, I understand how the Torah can command us don't commit adultery, but how the Torah can command me don't covet. How can I control my heart? It's not my hands. There is no way I can control my heart. He says you can. And he explained the concept of difficulties. And he gives a parable. Let's assume, a poor peasant came to the big city and he sees a princess, walking with the chariot, with all the soldiers and so on. Would he want to marry her? Does he have, this dream of vision and no, why? Because he knows he's got no chance. So what? Even if you've got no chance, still you might want. Very strangely, if you know that there is no chance, you don't want. So somehow the difficulties have influence on our willpower, you see? So if you take this difficulty to infinity, you can see that the willpower goes to zero. So really, but this difficulties has got something to do with the way we think. So some difficulties are objective, but some difficulties depends on the way we think of the world. For example, in this case about about this peasant is very clear, right? I know that I cannot. It's very simple. But regarding coveting, why is it impossible? It depends the way you think on the world. Once you think that to commit adultery, this is impossible, you better die, you rather die than do that, then the difficulty depends on the way you conceive the world. So once you think of the world this way, the difficulty becomes enormous, and the willpower goes to zero, or next to zero, right? So you see that I can change my willpower. I can do the mitzvah of don't covet by deciding how to look at the world. And if I look at the world that adultery is terribly, then coveting becomes zero, or next to zero. Is it clear? So now we will, of course, the difficulties, some of them, let's see, are realistic, objective, but two parameters to this function. One is, objective, but some of them, it depends on your world view, the way you view the world. And of course, this is related to the meaning you give to life. So you see, this is also some kind of function of meaning. Of the world view, the way you look at life, it would, as an impact, would have an impact on the difficulties. Once would have a impact on the difficulties, definitely it would have an impact on the willpower. Okay, next stage. Is there meaning to difficulties? Usually in our society, there is no meaning to difficulties. Difficulties are just mere obstacles disturbing me to achieve the goal. We live in a very goal-oriented society, right? I'm here, and this is a goal. And if I fail here, I got nothing. It's not, you see, it's a big difference if you got up to here or here. No. Let's assume you run the marathon. So you came 41 kilometers, and you collapsed. You got nothing, right? That's the way we think on life. Life, the society usually knows to appreciate only the achievement. They don't care about the efforts. Now, this is very, very problematic way of thinking. First of all, in education, think about, you have a class, and you set up the goals, just the marks and the exams, that's it. It's very hard to educate. You can teach, but it's very hard to educate like that. Because once, the life is just pure race, right? That's it. Only if you achieve. Nothing else is important. So, all your attitude to life, all your values are built accordingly. A good teacher would like really to motivate students not just by achievements, but also by efforts. You have a child. It's hard for him. But every small effort you want to encourage. But the only way that you are given is just the marks. He got lousy marks. What can you do? And that's the only language our society is talking to us. So therefore, in this way of thinking, it's very difficult to educate. Actually, when you look at really religious education, the system is totally different. For many years, they try not to give marks at all when they're kids. And many times they try not to show the marks. They don't advertise it, so nobody knows the marks of the other one. They don't want the marks to be part of the system. And many times the teacher would go and build a personal program with the students. a 10 years boy, it's hard for him, Gomorrah, it's hard for them. Let's build something personal to him. If you do that, you're doing great. And he tries to tailor the goal. And many times we talk with the teacher, and we say, look, my kid has a difficulty that, let's tailor for him this program, this, that. And he puts to him personal problems in relationship with the parents, and if he achieves that, well, we are very proud of him. And this is so important in education, so important in helping people to grow. Because sometimes the goal is so far-fetched, so I'm not trying. But actually, if I'll do small steps, I'll achieve it one day. But I don't do it, because in the meantime, I've got no chance. Once I don't have chance, so my willpower goes to zero, so I don't try. But if I would be able to if it could be that I would be appreciated for every small step, I could go a long, long ways. But society doesn't work like that. Teachers should work like that. Unfortunately, they don't. Because they also think only in terms of goal-oriented. The goal is a monk, he should get such and such and such. Now, in Jewish way of thinking, we specifically talk about the meaning of difficulties. And the meaning of difficulties is much more than the goal is the difficulties. It says, Lefum tzara agra. Your reward is according to your effort. Listen to that. The basic principle of Judaism is that your reward is not according to your achievement, but is according to you. It's very important. So once you look at that, from now on when you look at religious people, you might change all your point of view. There was a person that might do very few mitzvot, but he lives in Michigan University, whatever it is, and it's very difficult for him. So maybe his reward is much higher than a rabbi in the Detroit community. No, I'm serious, I'm not joking. It's very, very serious. Your reward is according to the effort, according to the difficulty. That's the way God runs his life. You should know. That's why it's very hard for us to measure people. We measure people on objective line. The Torah says there is no way. It's not objective line. Everyone is measured according to his own difficulties. Maybe I compare it to bridge rather than chess. I'm a chess player. Chess, it's objective. Everyone gets the same pieces. Either we win or lose. That's it. But in bridge, it's not so. You get cards, and there is, and especially if in competitions there are different tables and all of them, you might get the same cards. Now, let's say out of 13 takes, let's say that these cards, with this set of cards, you can get 5 out of 13. All right, 5 out of 13. This would make sense. Now, if I make 6. Did I win or did I lose? The other one got 7 and I got 6. Did I win or did I lose? I won. You understand why? Because I'm not measured this 6 compared to him, right? I'm measured compared with the other tables. And all the people with my set of cards hardly made the 5 and I made the 6. You understand? And actually the next turn, of course, he would get cards that are worth only of 5. Let's see him doing 6 with this 5. You understand? So in bridge, it's very interesting. Even though you just, distribute cards as if randomly, but they have a way to measure it. Therefore, you can make Olympiads in bridge because they found some objective measures. It's not random because I'm compared to my potential. So if you have 7 and I 6, I won. You understand that? It's very interesting. Basically, that's the way Hashem is measuring. Is not, even though I just got 6 and the other one goes 5, he lost. Because according to his cards, he should have gotten 8 and I won because according to my cards I got much higher than I could have. Instead of 5, I got 6. It's a very, very important way of understanding. Sometimes it's very difficult for me to learn. So you might fall in despair. But you say, look, you're so kind. You're so kind. Because, you balance the things. Because it's so difficult for me to learn. So I know that if I learn just a little bit, my reward is so big. Right? So it's so fair of you. So even though it's so difficult for me, so I learn just a little bit, still I'll get the full reward, right? Because the reward it depends on the difficulties. So this way, that even though I achieve little, I know that I really am rewarded and measured properly, because we are not goal-oriented, but effort-oriented. It's very into the way. So now I come into the equation, and now I would divide the difficulties by meaning. We see the meaning is involved for the third time already. It's involved to the extent that the desired is involved in terms of the difficulties. Sometimes it comes out